Hello, my name is Kylie Delgado, and I'm the program manager for BankOn Maryland with the Cash Campaign of Maryland. Today, I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about banking and really what are some of the secrets that you can use during COVID to stay on top of your financial situations. If you have any questions following this presentation, please feel free to email me at bankonmaryland, all one word, at cashmd.org. Again, that's bankonmaryland at cashmd.org. Thank you for joining me today. I want to start off by helping us think about where we are right now. We are in a global pandemic, a crisis. And two quotes that inspire me during this period are from Jack Nicklaus, who says, "Crises are part of life. Everybody has to face them, and it doesn't make any difference what the crisis is." It's really important to understand that we can't control what is happening in the world right now. We can't control what COVID-19 does, and we can only follow the measures that we are told in order to keep ourselves and our families safe. Banking and making and managing your money is still, however, important during this challenging time. And so it's really important as we go through this workshop to talk about what the benefits of banking during a crisis are. The reality is that when written in Chinese, the word crisis is composed of two characters. One represents danger, and the other represents opportunity. I would like to give you the opportunity to make sure that you take charge of your financial circumstances and your banking situation as best as you can as we navigate through this crisis. Did you know that there are 5 barriers that really impact people in terms of their short and long term financial recovery during a crisis? First is navigating complicated documents. Most people aren't aware, but it is extremely complicated in terms of the types of paperwork, the documents you have to complete, the things that you have to submit on time, the different deadlines, whether you're applying for unemployment insurance, whether you're trying to fill out paperwork to delay an eviction, whether you are trying to contact your creditors and ask for relief. So it's really important to understand that taking your time and viewing these documents as best as you can and getting some assistance there can be important to your long-term financial recovery. Number two is overcoming, limited access to credit. Many of us struggle during these difficult times to know how to use the resources that we have effectively. Sometimes those of us who have limited resources have to rely on availing ourselves of credit, whether that be credit cards or personal loans. And so it's really important to figure out what are the best ways to access credit during this time so that your long term financial stability is not negatively impacted. Identifying and avoiding scams is barrier number 3. Unfortunately, right now, during this time, as we have seen in many other economic downturns and difficulties in the past, scammers and people choosing to do ill will are prevalent. It's important to know how to protect yourself and how to protect your finances during these difficult times. Number 4 is locating the available resources that can really help and assist you during this time. We really want you to understand that there are resources available, good resources, solid resources, people that are ready and able to assist you in legal and helpful ways. And we would like you to know that the 5th barrier is modifying your goals, budgets, and debts. Before COVID-19 happened, and before any economic crisis or recession, really, many of us were moving along our lives with our goals and thinking about the things that we wanted to accomplish. But this crisis, as well as many others that have happened before and that will happen again in the future, require that we readjust our expectations and think about how to strategize effectively for our long term financial stability. Certain skills are needed to handle these barriers. And what we're going to talk about today is what we can do in each of these situations to get a stronger hold on our financial stability. You can learn to manage each of these barriers. I want you to know you're not alone. Many of us across America are really struggling with each of these barriers in our own ways. Even those of us who have been prepared, who have survived challenges before and crises before, will find ourselves having to deal with anywhere from 1 to 3 of the challenges that we previously discussed. Today, we're going to talk about 5 different ways using each of these barriers that we can overcome or at least attempt to rectify and protect ourselves for our financial recovery. Number one, when it comes to navigating complicated documents, if you are someone who's heard about ChexSystems and how financial institutions use it in determining if you can or cannot open a bank account, we're going to talk a little bit about what ChexSystems is. If you have wondered how you can get better access to credit, we're going to talk about how opening a BankOn certified account can be to your benefit. If you have wondered how on earth do I protect myself against all the fraud and scammers out there and protect my finances, well, let you know that the institutions that you bank with have protocols and are able to assist you. And if you need available resources and to know who and to trust with your difficult challenges, many of your financial institutions partner in your community with places and people that will help and assist you. And last but not least, it is really important for you to know about your financial education options, where you can find dependable and useful information with regard to budgeting, where you can access financial coaching services, and discuss your challenges with referral partners. The reality I want you to take from today is tomorrow is too late, yesterday is over, and now is exactly the right moment for you to start taking care of your finances during this recovery. So, how do we navigate complicated documents? As I mentioned before, we're going to talk a little bit about ChexSystems. There are 5 things you need to know about ChexSystems. One, it's an agency, and the point of ChexSystems is to track your consumer banking behavior. Banks report to ChexSystems when consumers fail to pay fees or do not use their accounts properly, and information on ChexSystems remains for 5 years. But did you know that you can actually get a free copy of your ChexSystems report every 12 months? It's really important for you to access that report and review it for errors, whether that be bounced checks, identity theft, previously resolved accounts that are not being reported accurately. I have provided the link here for you to be able to take a look at how you can access ChexSystems on your own. You simply go to ChexSystems.com. You will notice that there's a consumer disclosure form. It will ask you a few important questions to identify who you are before they share any information with you. Once you complete that form and submit it, you can get the information with regard to what's on your report, both electronically and by mail. The wonderful thing is you get to make the decision about what is the right fit for you. So let's go back to our presentation. Some more things you need to know about ChexSystems. If you are denied because of ChexSystems, ask the bank why. It's really important to get a clear understanding from them what it is you could do to address the issues that have caused the denial. Keep in mind that it's also important to talk to the banker about any issues that they have identified that may be a hindrance to them feeling comfortable in offering you an account. For instance, perhaps the information on your ChexSystems report is from a prior situation where you were medically incapable of paying your bills on time. Perhaps you had a period of unemployment that allowed for you falling behind in paying fees and handling your accounts effectively. You can assure them that you're currently employed or that you're medically well and able to make different choices and better choices moving forward. I want you to also understand that if you are declined because of a bad check system record, it's important to ask the bank or credit union about accounts that have fewer features or lower limits. It is possible that the account that you applied for is not the right fit for you, but that they may have some additional options that you can avail yourself of. Did you know that there are institutions with accounts that do not permit overdraft? Absolutely. That's what BankOn Maryland and the BankOn movement nationally across America is about. If you are interested in institutions that have these types of accounts, here in Maryland, there is Destinations Credit Union, Chase Bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and BB&T to name a few. You can certainly start by visiting their websites. Right here, we'll take a quick look at Chase Bank's. Here, their account that does not permit overdraft and is what we call BankOn certified is their Chase Secure Banking. There's lots of information about the account, the benefits, and how you can open the account. If you are concerned about leaving your home due to COVID at this time, one of the wonderful things about this Chase Secure Banking account is that you can access it remotely from the comfort of your home. Please go ahead and take a look at your convenience at these accounts and see how they might be able to assist you in managing your banking situation moving forward. So, how do we overcome limited access to credit? Well, one of the ways that you can do that is by opening a bank account. If you do not have a bank account, it's really important to understand that a history of good habits is really what is important to a financial institution. This good relationship that you will build from making sure that you pay your bills on time and handle your checking and savings account responsibly increases the opportunities for you to access credit at that institution. When you are able to access credit, it better helps you to manage any temporary financial hardships that you are currently experiencing. And as you manage those hardships, it helps reduce the chances of long term harm to your finances as well as to the emotional well being of you and your family. So, if you do not have a bank account, we highly encourage you to consider looking through your options. Again, you can consider the institutions that I previously mentioned, but it is really important to start that relationship with a financial institution, whether that be a bank or credit union, so that you can have a better relationship and have better opportunities for accessing credit in the next financial downturn. We would like to also let you know that if you are employed and are receiving employed full, part-time, or seasonal, receiving government benefits, and you are still interested in having the type of account that works better for you, it's certainly important to look at the options such as the BankOn certified products. These do not allow you to overdraft, as I discussed before. They require as little as $25 to open the account. You are charged less than $5 a month to keep the account open. And then you get a debit card with a Visa or MasterCard logo that allows you to make purchases and pay bills just like everyone else. It's also important to recognize that the beauty of this account is that it does not charge you additional fees when you're not using the account. And it allows you to go into the branch and talk to someone on the phone or online whenever you have questions. Again, we talked about Chase Bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and BB&T as having these types of accounts. And if you have questions about figuring out which of their many products are the right fit for you, you can certainly reach out to BankOn Maryland at cashmd.org, and I'd be happy to try and assist you. So we're talking now about how do we identify and avoid scams when it comes to banking. Did you know that many financial institutions are already charged by federal and state legislation to keep your bank accounts safe? They are required to make sure that you have accounts that are protected from wrongdoing to the best of their ability by making sure they also have systems in place to protect your funds and your privacy. It's really important to keep the customer service number for your bank in your smartphone or an easily accessible place. This means that you will have direct contact at your fingertips should you be out and about and have a situation with your account that needs immediate attention. It's also important to check your account statements for unusual activity on a regular basis. We suggest at least once a month so that you can report any undue or strange situations that might give you cause for concern. Again, work with your financial institutions. They're there to help you keep your funds safe and protected for the long term. What can you do? You can also visit your bank's website and you can look around and see what types of information they have that can help you better learn how to manage your banking and savings accounts. One example of this is Bank of America, that does have a wonderful website where they have information for their consumers and their clients, and really for anyone who can access the internet. They want you to know that your security, your bank security, is their top priority. And they have information on how you can identify fraud, what are some of the common warning signs for scams, and how you can protect yourself. You can even report suspicious transactions or activity and report any misplaced cards. So it's really important to, again, check in with your financial institution. Many institutions across the United States have either websites or customer information, customer education opportunities for you to know how you can better manage your account and keep yourself aware about what's going on in the larger world with regard to scams and identity theft. If someone does use your account without your knowledge, please report it to the bank or credit union as soon as possible. Your bank is obligated to investigate and to refund any money taken from the account fraudulently. They also cannot charge your account bank fees that happen because of the fraud. And it's also to report any losses of a government identification to the police using their non-emergency line when they happen. This means if someone takes or you misplace your state ID or driver's license, please contact the local jurisdiction where you believe that theft or loss has occurred and file a report. It is really important for any information that can be used to identify you or for anyone be used to steal your identity, be reported when it is misplaced, so that if there's some situations later on, you can actually ascertain who you are versus the person who's trying to use your information inappropriately. Did you know that when you're looking for what available resources can be helpful to you during a financial crisis, that you need look no further than the banks and credit unions in your community? Many of them work on projects with community organizations because of the Community Reinvestment Act and because of the institution's missions. Many nonprofits also have good relationships with financial institutions in your community. So it's really important to understand that while financial institutions can provide funding, they do so much more for their community partners. Many of their professionals are great mentors, provide internship opportunities. Many of their supervisors and managers have project management skills and subject matter expertise in a lot of financial service topics. It's really important to use the people in your community effectively so that you and your family and the organizations you work for and with can be better protected during challenging times. Sometimes multiple institutions work together on a larger goal. Some examples for you are Boys and Girls Clubs across America are affiliated with Truist, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo as partners, to name a few. And Susan G. Komen for the Cure actually has a strong relationship with Bank of America. But it's not just our large banks who partner with the nonprofits in their communities. Smaller institutions like Destinations Credit Union and Middletown Valley Bank also conduct work and stay involved with their community through outreach efforts. Here is an example by using Middletown Valley Bank's resources page. As you go through any institution that you're interested in doing business with or that you already have accounts with, you can visit their community outreach or resources section of their websites and learn more about the work that they are doing to shore up and strengthen the communities in which they operate. As you can see here, Middletown Valley Bank has really been involved with the YMCA girls' efforts and March for Babies in the Hagerstown and Washington communities. So it's really important again to take a look and see how the institutions that you are doing business with or that you're interested in doing business with are already being effective and helping in the communities in which they serve. Consumers who need help with services beyond banking can learn about the work that their organization partners provide the community and then get connected with some of those groups for good, useful information and support. Our last barrier that we talked about earlier is how to make sure that we're modifying our goals, our budgets, and our debt. But one way in which we can do this is make sure that we're up to date on financial education information and that we can access different types of topics that are important to us and the needs of our financial lives. Many financial institutions really want their consumers to succeed. In fact, the more financially stable you are, the more deposits, loans, and profits that come to the institution as a result. And so many banks and credit unions have services and have partnerships with other organizations to help consumers untangle the different financial education options for improving their well being. Some institutions have what we call customizable technology. For instance, Bank of America offers you Erica, their own virtual financial assistant. Erica will give you personalized insight and weekly snapshots of your spending. Some institutions offer financial education classes. You can certainly visit their website or ask a branch employee for more information. Some institutions offer online curriculums. If that sounds like something you're interested in, hands-on banking, which is a special area for military members, youth entrepreneurs, and senior adults, might be a good fit for you. Hands-on banking is provided independently by Wells Fargo Bank. Some institutions go the extra mile and establish a referral process to connect members to free counseling and coaching services with skilled practitioners. If you are in the state of Maryland and you are in Baltimore County, you can access Destination Credit Union's website and learn more about them. They have an Operation Hope Inside program for their members, and they are able to help individuals by providing no-cost one-on-one financial literacy coaching workshops and specific personalized education assistance so that people can overcome and work towards whatever financial challenges that they are facing. So if you're really interested in figuring out how you can avail yourself of modifying your budgets and doing the things you need to set up your long-term financial stability, even as you navigate the crisis, please consider using the resources that the financial institutions you bank with, or at least the ones that are in your community, have. Some of them require you to have an account with them. Example, Destinations Credit Union's Operation Hope Inside does require you to become a member. And Bank of America's Erica Virtual Financial Assistant does require you to have a Bank of America account. However, not all institutions require you to have membership to use their financial education offerings. As I mentioned before, Hands-on banking is provided independently by Wells Fargo and is free to anyone who has access to the internet. Simply type in hands-on banking and you will be directed to the appropriate website. In addition, there are several institutions that do offer financial education classes and are still doing so through webinars. And you may visit their websites and ask their branch employees for any assistance they might be able to provide you. So we've reached the end of our presentation, and I would like to summarize. The world in which we live right now is changing. It's changing considerably. Are your finances changing with it? It's really important to identify and manage the barriers in your financial life so that you can succeed as you continue to navigate to the other side of this crisis. Remember, Charles Darwin said, "It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It is the one that is most adaptable to change." So let's look back. We saw this slide before, and now I'm going to ask you to take that one step, that first step. Figure out which of the barriers that we discussed might be the ones most impacting you at this time. Is it navigating complicated documents? Do you have a bank account? If not, do you know about ChexSystems? Well, now you do. Why not take a look? Pull up your own ChexSystems report and see if there's anything on there that might be hindering your ability to open a banking account. Perhaps the barrier that you would like to tackle is limited access to credit. It might not be easy to be able to access credit now, but if you open a BankOn certified account or an account in any financial institution, you can start building that relationship that can help you get better access to credit during the next economic downturn. How about learning what your institution's protocols are and how to contact customer service? As we've talked about, this can be really important when you need to identify fraud and scams and protect your financial and personal identity. Visit your institution's website, see what information they may have that you can do in order to be aware of what types of scams and tricks are currently in existence right now. Perhaps you've hit on hard times, like so many of us have, because of this global pandemic. Are you aware of the partners in your community, in your neighborhoods, that are legitimate organizations that are there to assist you? If not, check out the financial institutions that you do business with. Check out the financial institutions that exist in your community and find out who are their partners, whether through their websites or calling their branches or sending an email or asking on Twitter. They are required to partner with institutions that are legitimate and that can truly assist you. And last but not least, as so many of us are learning, it is really important to modify our expectations. And that includes our financial goals and our budgets, and really look at how we can navigate ourselves through the current situation. It doesn't hurt to think about adding some financial education options to what you're already doing right now. Perhaps look into financial coaching services, perhaps look into some budgeting assistance. You have a wealth of information available online. You have a wealth of information available to you by the financial institutions that you already do business with. It's really important for you to think about how you can continue to protect your financial health and well-being as we move forward. So again, tomorrow might be too late. Yesterday is done and gone. But now, right now, is exactly the time to start. So take one step, even if it's a small step, and start working on how you can improve your financial situation as you navigate the global pandemic. I hope that you have enjoyed this presentation today. I really want you to feel like you can ask some questions or get some answers. So again, I encourage you to reach out to BankOn Maryland. Again, that's Bank, BANK, on, ON, Maryland, MARYLAND, all one word, at cashmd.org. Feel free to share what financial challenges you've experienced with regard to banking during this pandemic. If you do not have a bank account, I'd love to know why. If you do not have a bank account, how are you paying your bills right now? Perhaps you'd like to share a positive experience you've had with a financial institution during this pandemic. It is really important to support all those who are doing good work throughout our country and throughout the world, really. And then, if you have some tips that you have been using to manage your funds during this pandemic that you think might be helpful to others, please share them with us as well. We'd be happy to add and share those through our social media accounts so that others can benefit from the information that you have found so helpful. I thank you for being with me today. Again, my name is Kylie Delgado. I'm the program manager for BankOn Maryland at the Cash Campaign of Maryland. At the Cash Campaign, we believe that creating assets, savings, and hope are really important and integral to helping others build their long-term financial stability. We hope that you've enjoyed this short little workshop about banking and what you can do to protect your banking as you navigate the global pandemic. Please be safe, follow all requirements as listed within your jurisdictions, and take care. Till next time.